In a revelation that has sent seismic shockwaves through the very foundation of the British monarchy, King Charles III has been left reeling after discovering a shocking letter penned by his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, in the final days of her life, a letter that casts doubt on his legitimacy to ascend to the throne and hints at a deeply buried, centuries-old secret that could upend the entire line of royal succession. The existence of the explosive letter, tucked away in a sealed mahogany box among the Queen's private papers, was revealed by a source close to the King's inner circle, who spoke on condition of anonymity given the earth-shattering implications of its contents. It was like a dagger to the heart, a brutal and wholly unexpected rebuke from beyond the grave that has left Charles utterly shell-shocked, the source confided, their voice thick with scarcely concealed disbelief. To have the woman who bestowed upon him the sacred duty of kingship outright question his fitness to wear the crown, it's a wound that may never heal. According to the source, the letter, dated mere weeks before the Queen's passing at the age of 96, is a poignant, deeply personal missive in which the long-reigning monarch lays bare her innermost doubts and reservations about her eldest son's ability to lead the monarchy into an increasingly complex and divided future. My dearest Charles, the letter begins, written in the Queen's familiar cursive hand. As I approach the twilight of my days, a great heaviness weighs upon my heart, a burden born of the gnawing realization that, in preparing you to one day assume the mantle of sovereign, I may have led you down a path for which you are ill-suited to tread. What follows is a searing assessment of Charles's character and temperament, one that pulls no punches in its brutal candor and paints a portrait of a man plagued by fundamental flaws and shortcomings that, in the Queen's eyes, render him unfit to serve as the hereditary head of the House of Windsor. You have ever been a sensitive soul, prone to bouts of melancholy and indecision that have caused me great concern, the Queen writes, her words cutting like the sharpest of blades. A strong, unwavering hand is required to guide the monarchy through these turbulent times, a quality I fear you sorely lack. But it is in the letter's stunning denouement that the true bombshell is delivered, a revelation so seismic in its implications that it threatens to shatter the very foundation upon which the British royal family's claim to power and legitimacy rests. There is more, a truth so deeply buried that few within these hallowed walls are privy to its existence. The Queen's words continue, her penmanship growing increasingly unsteady, as if the weight of the secret she was about to divulge had become too much to bear. A truth that, were it to be laid bare, would call into question the very right of our lineage to rule, rendering the crown upon your head little more than a hollow bauble, devoid of meaning or legitimacy. The Queen offers no further details, no specifics as to the nature of this earth-shattering revelation, leaving her son, and the world at large, to grapple with the tantalizing specter of a monarchical mystery that could rewrite the history books and upend centuries of power dynamics within the British establishment. It's a tease of biblical proportions, a Pandora's box of secrets that Charles, for all his power and privilege, may never be able to truly unlock, the source lamented. The Queen has taken this truth, whatever it may be, to her grave, leaving her son to wrestle with the agonizing uncertainty of whether he is indeed the rightful heir to the throne he now occupies. In the wake of the letter's explosive revelation, a pall of stunned disbelief and feverish speculation has descended upon the royal's inner sanctum, with aides, advisors, and members of Charles's household scrambling to make sense of the Queen's cryptic words and divine the truth that could potentially unravel the very fabric of the monarchy. Theories and hypotheticals have abounded, with some positing that the Queen's letter may allude to a previously unknown illegitimate heir, a long-buried ancestral scandal that could cast doubt on the purity of the Windsor bloodline. Others have speculated that the secret could be tied to the monarchy's troubled colonial past, a stain of historic injustice or oppression that, if exposed, would undermine the institution's moral authority to rule. We're in completely uncharted territory here, the source confessed, their voice tinged with a mixture of dread and morbid fascination. The Queen has left us with more questions than answers, forcing Charles and the entire royal apparatus to confront the very real possibility that their birthright, their very claim to power, could be built upon a foundation of lies and deceit. As Charles and his advisors grapple with the fallout of the Queen's bombshell letter, the ripple effects have already begun to manifest in tangible ways, with the newly minted monarch reportedly withdrawing from public engagements and retreating into a period of extended seclusion as he wrestles with the existential crisis of faith thrust upon him by his late mother's words. He's paralyzed, Utterly adrift in a sea of self-doubt and uncertainty, the source revealed. Everything he's been groomed for, everything he's devoted his life to, it's all been called into question with the stroke of his mother's pen. He doesn't know who to trust, where to turn, or how to even begin to unravel the truth that could upend his entire world. The fallout has extended beyond the palace walls as well, with ripples of unease and growing speculation spreading through the ranks of the British public and the global community at large. Rumors and conspiracy theories have run rampant across social media and the 24-hour news cycle, fueled by an insatiable hunger for answers and a deep-seated fascination with the possibility of a royal house of cards on the verge of collapse. This isn't just a private matter to be swept under the royal rug, it's a seismic event that has implications for the entire power structure of the United Kingdom and its place on the world stage, posited Dr. Anna Whitelock, a professor of English history at Royal Holloway, University of London. If the monarchy's claim to legitimacy is indeed built upon a foundation of falsehoods or historical injustices, it could trigger a constitutional crisis of unprecedented proportions. As the world holds its collective breath, all eyes are fixed upon the besieged King Charles, a man now tasked with the unenviable burden of not only leading a nation but unraveling the truth behind his own lineage, a truth that could either solidify his place upon the throne or cast him into the annals of history as little more than a footnote, a pretender to a crown he never had the right to wear. Only time will tell what revelations, if any, the embattled monarch will uncover, but one thing is certain: the sanctity and stability of the British monarchy, an institution once thought to be unshakable, has been irrevocably fractured, its future now hanging in the balance, subject to the whims of a secret so deeply buried that its very existence was known to only a select few, until now. As the world watches with bated breath, the once impregnable facade of the Windsor dynasty has been laid bare, revealing the brittleness of its foundations and the fragility of the crown that has for so long symbolized the indomitable spirit of the British people. Whether Charles emerges triumphant, his legitimacy intact and his place in history secured, or is cast into the flames of ignominy as a false king, a usurper to a throne he never truly deserved, remains to be seen. But in the ashes of the Queen's earth-shattering missive, one truth has become crystalline: the days of unquestioned fealty and blind reverence for the British monarchy are well and truly over, and the House of Windsor now finds itself at a crossroads, its very survival contingent upon its ability to confront the demons of its past and emerge into a new era of transparency and accountability. The game, as they say, has changed, and the stakes have never been higher.